Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Monday announced the creation of a $50 million fund from which cash will be paid to people who provide the state with information about criminal activities. The fund will also reward people who provide information to foil supermarket robberies, among other crimes, during the Christmas season. According to Prime Minister Holness, the security forces have been picking information across the country that criminal gangs have been organizing to rob supermarkets, among other businesses, as well as seeking to hijack trucks transporting goods, as there is a sense that businesses have a lot of cash and goods moving around during the Christmas season. Noting that the security forces have been able to thwart some of the robberies, the Prime Minister said the government is also seeking to save more lives and prevent contract killings.
We have a fund established for 50 million Jamaican dollars for anyone who wants to give us useful information on those gangs who are planning the hijacking of goods in transit, moving between warehouse and stores, those criminals who are planning contract killings. We want to know, and people know, because the girlfriend know, the mother sometimes know. Tell us, because I don't know how you sleep at night with your conscience knowing that your son or your boyfriend or your friend involved in these things. Tell us so we can save lives. We want to know of those people who are planning the hits. We want to know the people who are planning the hijacking of goods. And, there's another crime that we see a lot coming in now. The lottery scamming. They're not just scamming foreigners. They are doing all kinds of scams to local Jamaicans here as well, taking away people's pensions here. We want to know. So if you want to have a Merry Christmas and you have some useful information, you could get a nice slice of that $50 million. But more than that, you are saving lives.
And that was Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness speaking there. Meantime, a Florida judge has pushed the drug smuggling trial of former British Virgin Islands Premier Andrew Fahey to next summer. A Florida judge granted Fahey's lawyer's request for a 7-month delay for the trial, which was set to begin January 9th. It's now been pushed back to July of 2023. Prosecutors and Fahey's attorneys are still going through a lot of evidence in the case of Fahey and his 2 co-defendants who are charged with crimes including drug smuggling and money laundering. They were busted in April of this year after a months-long sting operation by the DEA, which investigators say found the trio agreed to arrange a safe passage of a large amount of cocaine through the BVI in turn for millions of dollars in cash. Fahey has been free on $100 million bail since June, ordered to wear an electronic monitoring device and to not leave his daughter's Florida apartment. His co-defendants remain in Florida prisons. Well, meantime, former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is expected to appear in court on Tuesday for ongoing extradition hearing proceedings after the process was stalled on Monday. Bankman-Fried is currently being held at the Fox Hill prisons in the Bahamas. Patrick Oatman brings us the latest.
Bahamian prosecutors said that they had come on Monday to the courthouse behind me expecting to finalize an extradition agreement that would allow Sam Bankman-Fried to leave the Bahamas, essentially end his fight against extradition, and go to the United States where he's facing federal charges for his alleged role in the meltdown of the FTX crypto organization and trading house. That did not take place, as very quickly in the hearing on Monday, prosecutors and Bankman-Fried's local attorney faced off. There was finger pointing and accusations. The local attorney said that he had not been consulted, not been part of this agreement that had been reached, apparently, according to prosecutors, with Bankman-Fried's U.S. attorneys. There were accusations throughout the hearing, and eventually the judge allowed, at Sam Bankman-Fried's own request, a call to take place between his local attorney and U.S. attorneys to try to work out whatever differences have occurred. Shortly thereafter, within minutes, we saw Bankman-Fried be taken away under heavy guard back to the prison where he's currently being held. Some of his U.S. representatives said that he had been eager to leave to the Bahamas and faces charges against him, charges that could lead, if he is convicted, over 100 years in jail. And one of the reasons behind that change in his legal strategy is that he is incarcerated at the moment at a prison in the Bahamas that, according to the State Department and human rights groups, is really unfit for prisoners. There's not enough space for enough beds. It's infested with maggots and rats. It's a violent place. And certainly one can understand why a billionaire, a former billionaire like Bankman-Fried, would not want to spend any more time there. But as the extradition negotiations have broken down here, it appears that he will be staying in the Bahamas behind bars for some time longer. Patrick Ottman, CNN, Nassau, the Bahamas.
All right, thanks, Patrick. Well, switching gears now to some health news. Migraines can be a debilitating problem for millions of people, and the stress, the sights, and even the smells of the holiday season can actually trigger some serious episodes. And with Christmas now just days away, Bradley Blackburn has more on what can happen and how to get treatment and help.
Darian Segura Katz loves to host big family gatherings during the holidays, but last year the wife and mom had to cancel because of her pain.
I was supposed to do Thanksgiving. I couldn't because I was in such a bad shape.
Like many women, she first experienced migraines in her 40s. Doctors also diagnosed her with a nerve condition called trigeminal neuralgia.
Electric shocks to the half of my face to the point that I could not do anything.
Dr. Shay Dada with NYU Langone Health treats Segura Katz and says she sees more migraine patients this time of year.
Because of the increased number of triggers we have in terms of food and stimuli and stress, and travel is another big one.
Even bright holiday lights and the strong smell of scented candles can trigger migraines. So Dr. Dada says prevention is key. Hydrate, especially when traveling. Try to sleep at least 7 hours a night and moderate food and alcohol intake. Sulfates in wine are often a trigger. Segura Katz modified her behavior to manage stress. She also uses prescription medications and gets regular Botox injections.
It basically stops the pain receptors from overfiring. Doing okay? Yes.
She's doing so much better this year that she plans to host her family for both Christmas and Hanukkah.
So you want other people to know this is treatable?
Yes, that's the whole reason of me being here.
Putting her health first during the holidays to keep migraines at bay. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And doctors say people who have more than 15 headaches a month may be suffering from migraines and could actually benefit from treatment. They also say that women are more likely than men to experience migraines.